How's it going, guys? We're back today again with some more Heroes of Hammerwatch gameplay. Today we're going to be tackling the Pyramid of Prophecy. We've done a lot on the main caves, but we haven't started the pyramid yet. So let's go take a look. And today we're going to have Platinum Prince. He's still a bit sleepy from yesterday, so he's going to just chill for a bit, but he will be joining us a little bit later. And what do you got to say, Prince?
Guys, make sure you check out my first video where we kind of tackled the caves, talked a lot about kind of how we build this game, and today we're going to go into the pyramid. We'll talk about some classes, what your best strategy for this is, and we'll get to some enemies and talk to those, get information, so please stay tuned.
Okay, doing.
What character are we going to today?
I am going to be rocking the pyramid with the paladin. Now, again, the paladin, the thief, and the sorcerer. Right? Sorcerer? I don't remember which it is. Are probably my favorite classes in this game. Uh, Now, while we have only beat the first level of this, we are going to go and... Oh, shoot, one sec. We are going to go and tackle it on NG5 and hope that it skips us up. So yeah, let's go and get this done.
Yep. And can you also, I know Pyramid has an air arena and it's got statues. Can you kind of walk through what those are about?
So these statues end up giving you permanent buffs, just like everything else that you do in the game, aside from items. Uh, so if I scroll down here, you'll see that I have Callus, Kira, and Bolgarth. Now they're only level 2, 3, and 4. But Callus makes it so I have a chance to block most projectiles. I covered in one of my previous videos that Paladin blocks almost all projectiles, but there's some that pierce. And 5% of your armor goes straight to your attack power. So if we go over here, we have a base of 59, and then it would be plus 30, plus 83, plus 85. Now, I'm not going to pull up a calculator right now, but it'll be that amount. And then you take 5% of that, and it would go into my attack damage. So my base attack right now, I am getting 151 off of upgrades, 65 off of my class, and then you can see 22 from statues, which specifically would be the Callus. The Kira one I have a little bit higher leveled. It's level 4. And 20% faster primary attack. And I have a chance to shoot arrows, making it so that I have some scaling range damage for my primary build. And then Bolgarth, where every 5th primary attack drops a magic burst around me. Now, again, all of this works together to go with the primary build.
Okay. So you can get your primary attack pretty good because I know that the paladin is mainly focused on kind of armor that you just drop off and you can't do too much damage.
Not as much drop off. It's just you have to build specifically for primary attack. I'm finding, at least for most of the stuff that I run, I mean, obviously, different classes are going to benefit a lot more off of, let's say, uh, having skills like the sorcerer or sorceress, whichever it is, that is going to be a much, much stronger uh, skill build because it's all your skills. You're not ripping around with your primary attack. Like you could probably make a primary attack build, but it just wouldn't be as effective on that class. So to interrupt our train of thought here, we ended up grabbing the items from that sarcophagus. It didn't cost us any gold or ore, but we in turn got a bunch of curse, which you can see on the bottom right side. Now, let's see if I can bring the curse up to show off. There it is. So I have 11 stacks of curse right now. Become cursed and receive a 10% chance to miss on all attacks. You also have a 10% chance to take 211% critical damage from all sources. You do not want that to get too high or you aren't going to hit shit all, and even enemies that are normally super weak against you are going to hit you like a truck. And you definitely don't want that.
Yeah, the curse system is pretty crazy in this, and it's not even just from sarcophagus. There's actually traps that add on to your curse. Luckily, you can pick up little bottles and get some and get genies, and they'll drop curse bottles again. That lowers it, right?
Yes, and those were the green bottles that you saw me picking up there. So I skipped out on a little bit of the stuff in the shop just because I'm trying to hunt for a little bit more silver before we move on to the next level. So we got the old map right off the bat, which is pretty nice. Makes so when we bring up the map here, we can see everything aside from like gold coins that are on the ground. But if there's any diamonds, which is the biggest source of gold, we can see that. We can see any blueprints that are on there. And this is where you would go to farm blueprints for your statues. It's tied to your NG, so if you are on, let's say, NG4, I think I'm on NG5. I'm on NG6. So level 6 statues is the highest that I will be able to farm on this. And I will cover in a later video how to go about just hard farming statues. But statues are very, very important. Like, if I had my Callus statue a little bit higher, you get 5% more of your armor to attack power. So if I had Callus at NG10, 50% of my armor would go to attack power instead of just the 5%. And that would then translate to 10 times as much as I'm getting right now. So if we go back to attack power, we see 22 from statues. That would be 210 from statues. Or 220, sorry.
When
With
you say it gets your statue up, is that you find a blueprint for each statue, but then you have to find the next NG of the same statue's blueprint?
Yeah, and it's completely randomized. So, and again, I'll cover it in more detail in a future video. But generally, you would get an old map, just an old map from the shop, pump up the NG, go in here, and just straight up look for any orange blueprints on the map. It's not always going to be the one that you need, but you do not get duplicates. So if I was to say get Kira level 5, then that's all I'd end up getting is that Kira level 5.
And then level 5 basically lets you buy your statue 5 levels. You don't have to get the 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No, it would start out by being level 1. So if I didn't have any Kira statues, I would, and I was in NG6 or whatever, it would still spit out Kira level 1 blueprint, and then I'd have to go and get Kira level 2, and I just bought a map piece and didn't even use the proper direction because I'm brilliant like that. You know, we like to live on the edge.
And you can actually probably whip through this royal maze pretty quick too. It just makes the boss fight a bit harder, right?
Yeah, I really ain't too worried. I mean, it's only NG5 at this point.
Adversity's too overpowered.
So we see that we got a drink right here. We are going to continue whipping around, grabbing all of the curse bottles, because we don't want to go into the boss fight with really high curse stacks. We're down to 4 curse stacks now. So if we open the map, we're going to take a little bit of damage here. Oh, we're going to take a...
You were saying don't get your curse too high. Is there kind of a point that you recommend keeping it around or under?
Well, and generally speaking, as low as possible, but I'd say at 30 to 40, you're really going to start feeling it. And that's where you'll have to play a lot more cautious. So we're just going to quickly go through here. I'm going to pick up the Markham's purse and only that, because we don't really want to... There wasn't anything super worth picking up from there. Like, even though I have a lot of health, you can see these sandstorms and enemies are still just damaging hard.
Wait, the sandstorm damages you?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh man, I didn't even notice that.
And then we have 27 ore, and we have a chest over here. Just for time's sake, we'll grab that Amulet of Resistance. So we already got the traps activated. I don't see a whole lot of point in getting the map piece now. And I believe we got all the valuables.
So they've got an exclusive in this, I think it's called the Queen set.
Yes.
Is that worth going into, or as long as you keep your curse low and buy safe, you're fine?
It is stronger than the King set if I remember right.
Oh, interesting.
Um, we'll have to come across a piece because I haven't played Pyramid in quite a while.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see a few of them. They always like to throw in because I think it's an exclusive to Pyramid.
Okay, so we're down to 3 curse. Oh, there it is. So you can see that orange on the map there. That is a blueprint. We are going to swing back around and grab that. We're just going to make sure we grab everything from that side first. Kira level 6. Now, you're going to need to farm a lot of ore once you get your blueprints to level up your statues, but they are completely worth it. Like, a level 6 Kira is going to make it so that your damage, if you're going primary build, is pretty much just straight up doubled. You get 5 extra, forget if it's 4 or 5 damage per statue level. Let's take a look here. Increase the base damage of arrows by 4. And I think it started... Oh, there it is. It starts at 10 damage. So right now, I'm getting 26 damage per arrow added on. If this was at level 10, it would be 50 damage per arrow. And if we go back down here, you can see that my base damage on my primary attack is only 31.
Sorry for the
No. If your NG's however high, let's say theoretically you're on NG 99, well, then you'd be able to get a statue level 99. That's why my combo build only goes up to 12. Now, my statues aren't high enough to actually feel the effects of it yet, but non-combo variants, as well as with the statues, it just scales better. So we got everything from this floor. We are going to go and tackle the boss. We got the little wormy.
He's so cute. I'll make him my cousin.
He definitely hurts though. Oh, my little wormy.
What's your best way to tackle this boss? I always go after like the little humps that he
You can definitely go after the humps that he leaves. You aren't going to do as much damage to the humps. You can see, alright, I'm only doing about 1,000 per hit, 2,000 per hit. Whereas, I'm pretty sure if I can get at the head, I end up doing more, but I actually haven't really paid attention to too much of the damage numbers, honestly. I did just notice that I took a much bigger chunk when I followed his head and hit him compared to me just standing at the humps. Like you can see, that's not really. I mean, it still killed him, but it wasn't just completely dropping him. Yeah. Or if you are squishier, go after the humps. Just, safer. That's the big thing about this game is it's technically a roguelike. If you end up dying, you have to restart at the beginning. And nobody wants to do that. So here's potions, though we don't need a refill because we haven't used any. And then, one quick moment here. Now we do have that one curse left, so we are going to sneak down here. Now, again, that fountain setup that I showed off in, I forget if it was my first or second video on here, it's the Skiller Primary Build Guide, is my go-to fountain guide on everything Pyramid, and just overall, simply because I mean, I don't really use the elevators. I'm either going to make it all the way through or I'm not going to. I live dangerous like that. And as I covered in the previous one that I did with Platinum Prince, you generally have enough lifesteal that you aren't just getting demolished. You're always going to be at full health, and the only time that you're really not is during bosses or if you mess up a trap. So we picked that up. We got 11 curse now. We just got some bottles, so now we're back down to 9. But like if we go back down here, it was at 10% before. And now we're at 8% with us. It was 211% crit, 211. Curse just naturally is at 200%, I believe. But the chance is the big thing. You're going to take the occasional big hit with low curse if you have high curse, you are just going to get mollywopped.
So I have a question from kind of the chat. What's your technique? What do you like to preference between paladin and pyramid?
Uh,
Like, which ones do you think are maybe easier, and which ones for, and then maybe which one is like more fun for you? I kind of like the roller coaster style.
um,
Kind of got
I gotta say I like the tower traps a lot better, simply because if you're geared up just to whip right on through the traps, then you don't really suffer respectively. But like I was just at 9 curse and now I'm at 17, just from the trap and me taking that uh, damage from that necromancer or whatever the title is, and now I'm at 15% instead of 9.
oh, so I guess the pyramid mentality was kind of more like force people to move at a high level.
Yes, and the curses make everything hit much harder. Now, if I was on the Sork, I would honestly probably just take all the items, even if it brought me to like 300 curse. I mean, if it was a useful item, of course. I'm not going to bump up the curse for no reason. But the reason for that is you aren't coming close enough to any enemies, like ever.
Yeah, you're like invisible.
Yeah. Like, you just peek around the corner. I'll do my next video or next run over on the Sork. And I can show that off.
Is it a similar strategy with the wizard?
Somewhat. The wizard is a lot closer type of playstyle. Because a lot of your stuff is you need to hit enemies with your shorter ranged fireball. Or if they're eyeballs, they will float over the damage that you leave on the ground. If But if there's stuff that walks, you will generally drop a fireball on a corner, run in, get the aggro, and then bait stuff back because that damage over time just from the fireball area on the ground is going to be more than enough to drop most stuff. And then your other end of things is, and you only use Meteor in 2 situations. One is if you're in combo, otherwise you're just gonna get animation locked and stuck in place and probably dead. Or if you are out of combo, but like if you're in a position where my paladin is, without me grabbing aggro on those, by the way, I'd stand here, drop meteor, and I'd be able to kill all the stuff around. Wizard is a very strong class. I'm just much, much bigger on. Oh, we got a great threat. Much, much more enjoyable for me on the Sork.
Yeah, well, I feel you. I think I like kind of the range of it. The sorcerer, and then probably paladin, and then much melee.
Oh, and again, you can get blueprints in every single level throughout the pyramid. So if you just play, you will get them. But if you're looking to just speed farm just the blueprints, what you will do is get the old map, go through those first 3 levels in the desert before we actually get inside the pyramid. Keep an eye out for your blueprints, and once you get to the first boss, just straight up close. You press start and you go return to town, which will kill you, but you will keep the blueprint and you rinse and repeat. And you generally want to do it with something fast moving like the paladin. You will straight up hop into a map or match, pop open your map. You'll have the old map, as I mentioned before. You will just kind of move your angles around, see if there's an orange blueprint, speed straight to it, speed straight to the next level without picking up any items. You aren't going to pick up any shops, nothing. Now I have a feeling that my curse is going to get really, really high because I'm not really going slowly through this, avoiding the curse boys. So if we take another look now that we're at 17 curse, we are at 15%. So it's important to see where these land when they're actually on the ground and down, because sometimes it will give you a bit of grief going through and finding a safe spot. And those, I'm not sure if they'd one-shot me on this NG, but generally speaking, if you're on any type of NG that's even close to challenging, they will one-shot you. The boulders will usually one-shot you. You think of them like the spikes in the regular dungeon that we were doing. It's just something much better avoided. So we got a curse bottle down here. We got a trap down here that I have no clue how to do.
I always hate when you're getting the sarcophagus and those things so high.
Yeah.
I've always been one shot.
Well, I mean, an easy way to avoid that is you grab the sarcophagus, quickly exit back, and go back. Okay, so this is pretty nice. We're definitely going to be taking a hit on curses for this, but that's armor, and it's attuned, so that'll be nice. Mage Bane is going to be something that's really nice, because again, we have that Incendiary Demise, which gives an extra 40 magical damage. Now, regardless of your primary skill, magical damage scales off of resistance, physical scales off of armor. Hybrid's like a 50-50. So, that 17 that we had before gave 15%. We are going to bite the bullet and get that. So now we're at 67 curse. And we now have 49% chance to take 267% damage. And we are going to miss 49% of the time. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think the higher you go, the more chances you have of lowering your curse if you get up to the higher floor.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem it seems that people usually fix it if your health go too crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'd say the golden, I know I said 20 or 30, but I'd say the golden spot that you want to start not grabbing items and stuff would be 50. 100 just really, really sucks. You're not going to be hitting your enemies all that much. So, again, we'll use the shadows on traps like this. Or, no, you know me, just live dangerously and dash right through. I do, we have the different buttons that we have to hit. And there's our chest, and then we will grab the chest. Physical damage ignores a chunk of the armor. So our base damage is indeed, make sure that we're out of that, indeed physical. But if we go up here, we'll see we have +3 physical and +41 magical. So we're doing about 50% physical, 50% magical with our incendiary demise. So any type of piercing overall is always good. Now it still feels like I'm hitting the bulk of my enemies here. So I'm not sure how the scaling is, if that makes any sense, for the 49% chance to miss and so on. Now, just as a side note, another perk of running the combo type of builds is you almost always will have it up. You move faster, which is always a nice thing. Uh, but it really sucks when your combo is down. Uh, Once you switch from combo build to non-combo, you're going to notice that you do more damage if you have the respective statues and stuff. But you are not going to be... classes like the wizard, you'll definitely notice it the most, because you're not going to have the combo to make it so that you can move while casting. You would need to get the Wielner's wand for it. So here's our first boss. Oh, we are at 75 curse now. And with 75 curse, we are sitting with... 52% and 275. So we're back at that mid point called midway. It's at this point that we should be able to... Oh, I don't think we can go back and grab. that. So we've got another curse trap here that we could pick up the ores and the gold. I absolutely love the dragon because we can just go like that. Go up here. We're going to grab this chest. Now, we're not going to worry too much about this last bit of gold, but we do not have to go through that trap and get any more curse added onto us. Now it's looking at like at some point I grabbed some blood rights, which is a shame. We'd have even more health than we do right now. Then there's the glassway over there. Not going to worry too much because that's just a golden key though. I do wish we could get back over onto this left side though and pick up some of those. Oh, we might be able to. No. Some of those curse bottles is what I was going to say though. Oh yeah, here it is. So the gin removes a chunk of your curses. Yeah, there's no way back to the left side, sadly. Now, the gins do a lot of damage when we're on this platform. You don't have to kill all the gins. You can just run around in big circles. Hope not to get slapped. And then we got a Callus level 3. Callus is one of your main statues for your primary builds. Oh, are we gonna live dangerously? We got another sarcophagus room up in here. I'm gonna clear these enemies first. Okay, so there it is. So we got the Queen's set, which just gives less and less and less curses. 50 attack power for 16 curses. I know we're kind of screwed right now curse-wise, but that is worth it. Our damage numbers are looking pretty nice. We just ended up critting for 25,000. Now, reason why I like the Thief more, don't get me wrong, Paladin is really nice. It has its own heal, so if you get out of combat but you're hurting on health, you can just drop your heal. And you don't have to worry about getting your hands on potions. But that 25,000 crit that I hit, imagine that consistently dropped every attack that you do with the thief. So we're going to avoid this lava. It's going to light up and then it's going to go dark. Then we're going to go into here. Now, Paladin powers, we will just straight up bucket through. And then we got our button on the top here. Those sunbeams or laser beams, whatever you want to call them, they do a lot of damage. So you want to try and avoid them as much as you can. So, just because I don't feel like I need any more curse added on, we are going to avoid this trap.
So you just have to pick and choose based on where you're at.
Yes. Like, I could get away with getting some more curse, but then if I get another sarcophagus with another queen piece, like, let me clear this wave and I will bring up how much 83 curse does. I think it's probably about 60%. $56. So yeah, it's just stuff that you don't need. Uh, you want to save your curse for what you do need, pretty much. Because the last thing you want to do is uh, have a collection of items that you want from the sarcophaguses, but let's say if I didn't have the queens or any of the other items I wanted, instead of it being 80, I'd have to choose between having the items and being at like 100, let's say 30 curse or whatever, or just making do. So each of these red exclamation marks, Prince touched on it, where you end up getting some extra curse off of you, but then you have to fight a Jinn. Jinns do a lot of damage, but... And it's also not a skip. Well, it is. It's how you get to your next level. I shouldn't have done that at this point yet, because I should have went up here and double checked the shop. Like Amulet of Kings. Oh, that really hurt. That did a lot of damage. There we go. So we hit the shop there. We're good to go into the next level. I do realize the irony here, but this level should probably have an epilepsy warning because of all of the flashing lights here. And that is a blood right. We do not want to worry about that. I usually skip blood rights because you don't know what you're going to get from them. Whether it's going to be something that you'll actually use as part of your build. And it takes off all your health all the same. So we are definitely going to be leaving the genie for last now. We're just going to speed through the level and make sure that we grab the curse bottles. We already got more than enough cash. However, you can never go wrong with getting some more ore. Oh, and blueprint. Wheelner level 6. That's one of the main statues for your skill builds. So we got just about the whole map covered. Got a sarcophagus here. Sword of Kings, which is nice. Now, we will double check. That's our third piece of Kings, so we get some attack and skill speed, which is really nice. And it's attuned, we have quite a bit of attack power now too. Go here. Queen's Jewel, skill power. We get -5 curses, but that means we'd get the equivalent of +11 for skill power. Why is it offering me the chance to get Heartseeker? Did I forget to craft it? Yes, I did. So we will grab the Heartseeker. And since we're always in combo, we will get the sphere. No, we're living dangerously. Let's go. We're getting all of it. All of it. So that's 255 curse. This is going to be a learning experience. Yeah, we'll call it that. Then give me a quick second here. Just having some problems on the video. So we like to live dangerously. We're gonna grab all 255 curses. We're gonna have 318. So we just are not hitting our enemies at all whatsoever there. And you can see we're taking a lot more damage there. So you can see we're just not hitting any of these enemies now. So we're going to have to run around. Now, probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm just going to do that to show you what high curse looks like. It caps at 95%. And I take 5 times the critical damage. So, realistically, there's no way for me to complete this, but we are going to try anyways. So you can see we are not doing any damage whatsoever. And since we aren't doing damage, we can't get into combo. And combo's our main thing. So we are just going to run around grabbing all the curse bottles we can. So we were at 95. We're probably still at 95. We'll open up the map and see. We got a blueprint up there. Got Genie right there and sarcophagus up there. Oh, what do we got here? Nothing that'll help us with our curse. Then got a trap right here. Oh, that's that. We didn't even manage to get the whatchamacallit. The blueprint that was there. Now with that being said, we are going to go on to the Sork. Now this is a skill build, so you're going to want to go with the Lucky Hat and the pretty much anything skill based. Markham's Wand, Scepter King, Staff of Volatile Casting. And then we'll go like that. Um, then we will change it up and go with a non-combo oriented build this time. And I can show that off. So we're still going to be going the same standard, starting 2 items. Not overly enthused about what... Oh, this isn't too bad actually. Tomb of Magic Missile. We got our keys. Or Tome of Magic Missile. Derp. We're going to quickly attune that. We got the stars to do so. Now, this is where the build... give me a sec, I'll grab the anvil. Might as well do our stuff in sections. So we got our Lucky Hat. We are going to come down here. So this is where it definitely changes up. Normally we'd grab Frenetic Eruption. We are not doing anything combo oriented. So we are going to end up going with Markham's Moonshine. Where is it? Plus 5% damage per item in your inventory. We're going to try and target spheres. We don't get combo, but it gives 10% damage per sphere that we get. We are going to go with Elemental Bruiser. Again, we want to pump up our skill cost for Wilner. That'll add a big chunk of damage to us. We got Starlight Stinger somewhere around here. There it is. Extra crit chance with skills, less base mana. We have more than enough mana to afford it. We want the Hairy Magus to get our mana back and add some extra damage to our skills because they cost more. And then we are going to get Elemental Bruiser. We already got... Oh, Evil Infusion is the last one. It is a big one for any skill builds. It is what is going to give you your lifesteal here. So, that is the difference for items and potions. We are going to go and adjust our statues now. So we want Wilner, faster skills, extra skill damage at the cost. For non-combo, we are going to want Cedric and Ozrith. Picking up mana crystals gives resistance. Ozrith is the big change up on... oh wait, I just think... no, still got Wilner, Ozrith, and Cedric. Ozrith is the big change up from non-combo to combo, because our normal build will be Cedric, Bolgarth, and Wilner. It's just because Ozrith higher up gives better scaling. You can do increased damage. It's another multiplier to poisoned enemies, and they almost always will end up dropping the poison clouds, enhancing your damage. Now, my Ozrith isn't super high leveled, so we are probably going to just stick... Oh, and that's another reason is Bolgarth increases combo time. We are not going combo, which is why we are also taking off Bolgarth. So we're going to select Ozrith, double check our statues. We got Cedric, Wilner, and Ozrith. We are also going to upgrade for 1100 ore. As I said, you need a lot of ore when you are upgrading your statues. Oh, look at that. We got some more ore and Casheroni for a new guild title. We got our keys, we got our items, we got our statues. We need to get our fountain, and we will be good to go. Oh, we are not good to go. I take it back. We need to buy up a bunch of ore with that 500,000 because we already got everything in town, and we do not want to mess up our tax point. Now, again, the reason we ended up dying when we did the last run the reason we died on our last run, we ended up grabbing that giant chunk of the curses with those items. So we are going to avoid doing that this time. And before you start any run, always double check you got everything. Got our chapel, we got our drinks, we got our fountain, we got our statues. I wish we didn't have the blood rites, but we will make do. Got the arena. And we're going to do this run on 5. So again, we aren't going to be getting combo. It's a bit weaker of a starter, but scales into more damage. Considering that every single item you get, think of it like a Markham, well, any of your Markham pieces that you get extra damage per like attack power, skill power, and so on. You get extra damage per item, except this is a separate multiplier. So we don't need the curse bottles yet. We're going to make sure we have the map nice and explored here, because, I mean, you never want to miss out on the blueprints. Like, if I go over to my skill power, 16 extra 16 extra skill power from statues. That I believe is just the resistance added onto the skill power. And then we have 5 and then plus 5% per level. So we have 25% of our skill cost added as damage to the skills. So if we go over to the orb, we'll see that it only does 20 base damage. Even 10% of my orb's cost, which would be 33, would be a lot. Now you add on that we have 25% of that. Let's pull up a calculator real quick. 337 times 0.25, and we are looking at 84 damage added on to our skills. Well, to the orb, that is. So, nothing super important from him, but we will go and grab ourselves some more silver or gold. Oh shoot, I think I forgot to get my second item from the anvil again. Oh, no I didn't. Lucky hat and staff. We are good this time. Now, you'll notice that you move quite a bit slower. One, we're not in combo, and two, we're not the paladin anymore. But we have one of the more unparalleled classes at mob clearing. So, normally, I would leave these spheres behind. Their actual effect isn't great. That would add 25% damage. But that's 4 curses, and each sphere, even the small spheres, is another 10% damage that we get since it's a non-combo variant. So we have enough to go and buy the map piece now. We are just going to finish this map out. So we got the map piece. And you can see in the very top there how the X that marks the spot, you got the little trail and then the X going up. That's the map piece. That shows us which way we aren't going to get that greater threat. which is the sandstorms, which slow you down and deal damage and just make this part of the dungeon miserable. So we got some more curse bottles over here. Some more right there. Now this area is going to be harder since we don't have anything to bounce our orb off of right at the beginning. Because remember, each ice shard that comes out of our orb uh, can deflect off the walls and deal even more damage. Are you still alive there, Prince?
Chilling, listening.
And I saw that Suxy ended up. They working right now? Oh, not as cute as you. My working little water buffalo. Okay, so we got another blueprint here. Oh, we got Uran. Okay, and we can see the chest here. Sadly, it was only a diamond. No, this isn't Minecraft. Go back to working, gosh! Okay, so we're gonna go over the items here. We don't have anything super big for us, so we're just gonna pick up this next map piece. See if we can find a sarcophagus anywhere here since we got all of those curse bottles. Nope. And then if we look at the top at the map piece, we can see the trail leading over to the right and the X marks the spot. Oh, it's not going to be showing up as an imp. Where is it? We got an unexpected surprise. Which will probably be a lot harder to find because I, one, don't know what I'm looking for regarding our little surprise. And two, normally we would only have to look on the roof end of things. In the caverns. Oh, there it is. Little imp doesn't even have a portal, you little troublemaker. Okay, so we got sarcophagus here. Gonna make sure to clear these enemies first. Physical damage, skill power, gain mana on health lost. Our orb does hybrid damage, I believe. Yep. And it doesn't say what damage is added from Wilner. I'd imagine that it's the same kind as your skills, respectively. Now, items scale off of skill power again, so if we pick that up, that 100 hybrid damage will scale off our skill power as well. And then that's only 3 more curse. We have more than enough to get rid of that. We already have 3 that we saw. Oh, more than 3, I take it back. And boom, we're down to 2 curse. And 1 curse. And none curse. Now we're only sitting at 200 skill power, and our AoEs are already critting for about 5,000. Not quite as high as we were hitting with like the Paladin, but when you stop and consider how much more the orb hits, like per hit, like that's 64 shards or something ballpark of there per second. You toss that orb at anything, it's going to get melted. So we got our map piece for 4K. We got the Lucky Horseshoe for 3,400. We are going to start by picking up the map piece, just because we don't want sandstorms while we're dealing with the boss. And we are going to try and get that remaining amount of gold so that we can pick up our Lucky Horseshoe. Oh, my majestic prince. I don't know. Sounds pretty sus. Now, here I was thinking that you just had to drink bleach. Because bleach kills bacteria! Yeah, public surfing at this announcement. Please don't. Trump is great at a great many things, including the best wall building, but I'll have you know, you do not want to have bleach, okay? Bleach is not great, it's not doing great things. Okay, it doesn't look like we are going to have enough to pick up the Lucky Horseshoe. So we can see from the treasure map, we want to go straight up, and then boom, we're at the boss. Now, whereas with the first run that we were doing, we most definitely wanted to target the head. With so many different targets that we can hit, we want to drop the orb towards, and you can just look at all of those crits. And boom, the boss is dead. Uh-oh, I made a typo mistake on my Facebook post. Oh, where?
I don't know if you noticed, but Leah is not spelling out.
Oh, I forgot the apostrophe. Oh no, you pointed out my weakness! Oh no! There we go. All fixed. Oh, boulders. Oh, I went too early. And they're a perfect example of the damage that the boulders do. I'm pretty geared up on my Sork, and it still demolished me, destroyed my dreams. So time to go back to the Paladin. No, I do definitely prefer the combo variant most of the time with these builds. We're gonna have to switch our statues back to Kira, Bolgarth, and Callus. And then we can also upgrade Callus, which will give us a little bit more attack power. We got 236 right now. And now 246. We got our fountain done. We got our potions done. We just need our items. Well, I'm normally not one to skip on Lucky Hat, but this is a pretty good startup. And then we will go and craft our Heart Seeker. As always, make sure we buy all of our ores. We're going to be keeping an eye out for Lucky Hats. And then before we go in, double check we got our potions, we got our fountain, we got our statues, and we got our items. And we are good to go. So you can see we're not hitting the special crits as often without the Lucky Hat. Which is the ones that ding for a much higher number. We were hitting about 3k average there. So if we go through this, we can make use of some extra armor here. And we could take the extra damage, but I'd prefer to know for sure that we can get rid of all of our curse. So that took us for 4 curse. We're back down to 2. Again, we're running a combo build. So while it is nice to get spheres, it's not going to be as important. Deepest apologies. I had a quick phone call there that I had to take. Now we are going to grab the map piece. Oh, stream bots. I love it when you stop by my stream. So we are going to report that as unwanted spam. We got all our curse gone, so it's time to search all the map. We got our map piece. Just don't want to miss out on blueprints. That's going to be to go to the right. We can see from the map piece that we need to go straight up. Okay, so we got sarcophagus and a chest here. We'll grab the chest. We'll clear the enemies. Another big thing, if you go into a sarcophagus and you don't get anything and then you exit, is this just infinite spawn? No. Go into the sarcophagus and then you leave, it automatically locks. You aren't going to be able to go back and grab it, so you want to make sure you clear all the enemies beforehand. So that's all we need. As you can see, we can't go back in and grab it. And then we got 4 curse. We need to get 2,000. It would be nice to get the vendor's coin too. And Markham's purse, but realistically we aren't going to get that much gold. Oh, another blueprint. We got Callus level 4. Okay, so we need 100 more for that map piece, and it looks like that's pretty much all we are going to be able to get. Okay, and I'm gonna double check that we got all the nooks and crannies. And seeing as we did, the map piece is telling us to go to the left. Now, it would seem that there's still some problems with my stream, so I am going to quickly restart it. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and we are going to continue this run in a quick second. I just need to refresh it. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.